Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. I'm sure this statement is something I've said more than a dozen times on the show, especially after conversations with spirituals. But I really believe that learning various tools of personal development have actually given me permission to be myself. And what do I mean by this? Well, let's take a trait that maybe isn't your best or most adored trait. For me, I get really flustered when things aren't organized or not easy to find. I believe in organization, that everything has a place. So when I'm tested on that belief and live with messy kids or had coworkers who weren't organized in the slightest, my worst self seems to come out. However, I've had so many talks with astrologers who, without even knowing me, have said that my Virgo moon makes me a little bit more meticulous, detail-oriented, and organized. They've also pointed out my desire for perfectionism. Thus, astrology has given me permission to be myself, the parts of me that will never change because it's encoded in my DNA. It's written in the stars. Through my exploration of various personal development tools, the following 3 are the ones I've found most beneficial in learning about myself. I've already mentioned number 1, astrology. Astrology is more than reading your horoscope and knowing your sun sign. It is the full picture of where the stars and planets were at the exact time you were born. Astrology has given me many gifts, but the biggest gift has been my understanding of each planet and the placement and how it contributes to not only my personal self, but how, when they have transits, how it affects me on a day-to-day or monthly basis. I've been more aware of the energies at play, which aid me in separating feelings from facts, but also knowing that there's something bigger going on, which is a reminder to surrender. Number 2 is numerology, and maybe this should have been number 1, as numerology kind of sent me into the rabbit hole of spiritual and personal development tools, but the basic principles of numerology can tell what makes some people succeed over others on the same task. It reveals your traits and helps you make correct decisions, I guess you could say, about everything from your relationships, marriage, education, love, finances, your health. I learned I'm a life path 9, but also that 9 is all within my numerology makeup. The 9 is a spiritual, a teacher, and well, hello. And number 3, Myers-Briggs personality test. The Myers-Briggs personality test is used widely in professional settings, even within high schools and colleges. I do think a personality test is a bit easier to trick when it comes to the results, as you can change your answers, or you may answer with who you want to be versus who you actually are. But when answered authentically, I think this test has a lot of weight. I'm an INFJ, the rarest personality type, and honestly, learning that it's so rare gave me as much insight as about anything else. But ultimately, being an INFJ gave me permission to be both incredibly shy, quiet, and withdrawn, as well as charming, fun, and hilarious. It was also really great to learn that I gauge my energy off the situation, and that resonated with my soul. Of course, we don't really need any type of developmental tools to give us the permission to be ourselves. Only we can validate the true us. But these tools do aid in becoming more aware of understanding self, which I think helps one live more boldly. If you've ever felt like you needed validation to be your authentic self, lean into one of these tools and see what you uncover. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, and be sure to give the podcast a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you tune in and turn it up. I'm back on Wednesday for another life mastery conversation. But until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.